morning, third graders. It is Friday, March 20th, my favorite day of the year. Wonder why? All right, this is lesson 129. It will be your language quiz. So your language quiz, it would be quiz 13. I'm going to read the direction of that, and then if you will do your language quiz, then turn it into me when you come back. The first part says circle the adjective that describes the underlined noun. And then adjectives. In the blank, write an adjective that describes the bold noun. Remember the three questions we talked about. Your adjective will answer what kind, how many, or which one. So think about those questions as you come up with an adjective for each word that's in, each noun that's in bold print. Okay, since it is a quiz day, we still have a language lesson. And we're just going to add one more adjective question on. So if you look at page 146, it reminds us an adjective is a word that describes a noun. And we have a couple questions we can ask ourselves. What kind, how many, which one, and then another one we can say is whose. So our four questions are what kind, how many, which one, and whose. Whose friend? My friend. Whose keys? Tammy's keys. Think A says to write the adjective in the noun phrase for each sentence. It says John has a raincoat. Well, who owns the raincoat? John. So it's John's. Make sure you have apostrophe S, raincoat. John's raincoat. Okay. I lost $1. Okay. So whose dollar it is? My dollar. So you would put my dollar. So our last question with our adjective is whose. So what kind, how many, which one, and whose are the questions. Our adjective answer, and remember they are words that describe a noun. I know you've heard that 100 times this week because I felt like I've said it that. So hopefully we will understand these. And as you move on to think B on your paper, it says underline each noun and circle the adjective in each sentence. So look through the sentence, underline the noun, see if there's an adjective that describes it. If there's not, then you have nothing to worry about. But if there is an adjective that describes the noun, make sure you draw your arrow from each adjective to the noun it's describing. All right, that is our language for the week. Math. We are going to, I know it's been a while since we talked about rounding. I don't know if you remember talking about that in second grade. We touched a little bit on money in second grade if you were with us. We're going to round money to the nearest dollar. All right, so on the board, if you can see, kind of move out of your way, so I'll kind of be over to the side. I have $6 and $7. So Kayla's counting the money she saved. She has $6.30. So she has $6.30. Is $6.30 closer to $6 or is it closer to $7? Okay, if you think about that. Just like we round our numbers, we can also round amounts of money. An amount of money rounded to the nearest dollar has no cents. So $6 and $7, there's no cents. There's double zero. That means the money is rounded to the nearest dollar. To decide to round an amount back to the dollar or forward to the dollar, we have to know some things. So if we had $6, get rid of our cent sign there. $6.01 to $6.49. We're going to look at our cents, and if they are from 1 cent to 49 cents, it's going to round back down to the lower dollar. But if our cents are 50 cents, put my dollar sign there, take that off. If I have that, move that a little. Oops. All right, so if I have $6.50 to 99 cents, I'm going to round up to that next dollar. So if I have 1 cent to 49 cents, I'm going to round down. But if I have 50 cents to 99 cents, I'm going to round to the next dollar. When a dollar is rounded, there should be no cents at all. So let's say we had $6.55. If I had $6.55, what am I going to round that to? I'm going to round up to $7. Okay, this helps whenever you go grocery shopping, as one day you guys will as adults, and you probably have mom and dad right now, or if you have money right now and you're going to buy a toy at the store and it's $7.98. You know you have to have at least $8 with taxes to pay for that. Or if you have $10 and you know what you want to buy for $10, this can help you start learning how to do things on your own, and you won't have to ask your parents about all of it, and they can see you're responsible with money and understand how to round up your money. It's always good to round it up. I mean, it's $7.98. You have to round up to $8. Okay, so that is rounding to the nearest dollar. If you look at your paper, we're going to do a couple problems on here. So I'm going to do a couple things on the board. So I'll have to erase and then do some other problems. But there's a couple problems on your paper I wanted to go through. So let's continue with the number 1 part of our lesson. It says at the very top, rounding money to the nearest dollar. An amount of money rounded to the nearest dollar has no cents. If there is 1 cent to 49 cents, round down. And they give you a few examples. And if there's 50 cents to 99 cents, round to the next dollar. So number 1, it says mark the circle under the correct rounded amount. So you have to figure out which one the amount is going to round to. Okay. I would like to do number 2, solve the story problem B together. It's got several steps, so I'd like to do it together. So let me erase the board and get it ready for our problem. All right, let's read through this. It says, Madeline has 4 pairs of red socks, 6 times as many pairs of blue socks as white socks, and 1/4 as many white pairs as red pairs. That's a lot of information there. So Madeline has 4 pairs of red socks, 6 times as many blue socks as white pairs of socks, and 1/4 as many white pairs as red pairs. So we're going to start with 1/4 of 4. So she has, if you don't know where I got that from, we have 1/4 as many white pairs as red. Well, she has 4 red pairs. So we divide 4 divided by 4, and we're going to get 1. So that's step 1. That tells me I have 1 pair of white socks. So she has 6 times as many blue socks. So 6 times the 1 white sock equals 6. Okay, so then it says how many pairs of socks does she have in all? So I'm going to do, she's got 6 blue, 1 white, and 4 red. So she has 11 socks. Okay, then there's a second part. It says how many socks does, that's how many pairs she has. So it's how many socks does she have? Sorry, let me put pairs of socks. So next they want to know how many socks. Well, 11 pairs. How many are in each pair? 2. So she has 22 socks. Okay, and then number 3 on the back, you're going to divide and check. Number 4, find the fractional parts. Number 5, solve the measurement equation. Number 6, solve the equation. I want to do this because we've kind of struggled with these. So I want to go over them, go over one like this so everyone can see it. Okay, we have n plus 5 equals 16, parentheses, 16 divided by 4 times 2. All right, so the first thing we have to do is solve for our parentheses. Okay, so 16 divided by 4 is 4. Then we do 4 times 2. So n plus 5 equals, see how they're lined up, 4 times 2. Well, we can do 4 times 2 is 8. So n plus 5 equals 8. Okay, we do the opposite, so we get rid of that. So n equals 3. Then we're going to plug 3 in. 3 plus 5 equals parentheses. Oh, let me line this up a little bit more. I wasn't paying attention. 16 divided by 4 times 2. And we know this is 8 because we've done it here. And this is 8. So then we've checked our problem. Okay, I hope you're able to see that. You might not be able to if Like I said, if you have any question about anything, ask your parents. They can ask me. They can send me a message, and I'm here to answer. So that is your math for the end of Friday. All right, we're going to move on to science and talk about constellations. And like I told you yesterday, I hope you will go out and with your parents and you can look some of these. Look to see if you can find them in the sky. I usually have trouble finding them. But if I look really hard, I can usually find the Little Dipper or the Big Dipper sometimes. So hopefully over this break you can get out sometime when the sky is clear at night and look for these constellations. I would love to hear about it when you find them. All right, for thousands of years, people have observed the stars form steady patterns. These patterns are called constellations. The names of the constellations reflect the lifestyle and the worldview of the people who named them. Before the time of Abraham, people gave constellations names like the bull, the ram, the lion, animals that were very familiar to these shepherds and farmers. Later, the Greeks named constellations after their god, little g, and other figures from their religion. In the 17th and 18th centuries, as scientific studies became more important, constellations were named the microscope, the telescope. As awareness of tropical regions increased, constellations such as the giraffe, the chameleon, and the toucan were added to the list. 88 constellations were given their current names and boundaries in 1930 by the International Astronomical Union. Because the Earth rotates and revolves, the constellations seem to rotate and revolve. They appear in different locations throughout the year. People see stars in these particular patterns because they view them from Earth. The view from other regions of space causes very different star formations. So you're going to read on page 171 and 172 about constellations. There's a few in the sky they show you. Pegasus, Ursus Minor, Ursus Major, and Leo. And then they're going to talk about some other ones on page 172. And like I said, hopefully you can go out and see them. I'm going to try whenever we can get some nice weather. We can go out and look and to see if we have them. All right, that ends our Friday. I hope you guys have had a good week. I've really missed having you here. It's a lot easier to teach when I can see your smiling faces and I can answer your questions. So I hope you're having a great week, and we'll see you next week.